3 days that Ahmadi Muslims celebrate, and are they contrary to the teachings of Islam? Now, these 3 days, at first face value, seem to be more pertinent to the calendar of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. But in reality, when we look a little bit deeper and understand the wider connotation, we understand that they are important not just to the Ahmadi Muslims, but indeed to Muslims across the world, and indeed theists throughout the globe. These 3 days, namely celebrating the day of the promised Messiah, celebrating the day of the promised Son, and celebrating the institution of Khilafat or Caliphate, are such that are incredibly important in our day-to-day religion. But they are important also because of the fact that they refer to prophecies made by the founder of Islam, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. It was he that said that these events would occur. The promised Messiah, for example, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, said that in the latter days, an eschatological figure, or a figure in the latter days, would emerge to rejoin man with man, but also man with God. And therefore, we celebrate the fact that this grand prophecy made almost a millennia and a half ago has come true. The allegation that is the celebration of these days something which we should be abstaining from? Of course not. Something as joyous and something as jubilant as the fulfillment of a grand prophecy of our Grand Master, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, proving not only the truth of the promised Messiah, but proving the truth of the Holy Prophet, and indeed proving the existence of God. Is that not something to be happy and jubilant about? Then we have the concept of the Caliphate, the establishment of Khilafat. Again, this is something which is mentioned by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him, prophesied that Khilafat ala min haj nabuwa, Caliphate upon the precepts of prophethood, would come to existence. Again, something which is also mentioned in the Holy Quran itself. So when we see after so many years something so blessed coming into being that gives meaning to our very life, is this not something to be happy and to celebrate? Then the 3rd day is the day of the promised Son. Again, we understand that when God sends His prophets to earth, He does not send them empty-handed. Rather, He sends them furnished and armed with beautiful signs of truth to prove the claims that they make. This concept and this prophecy of the promised Son, who indeed was Hazrat Mirza Mahmud Ahmad, who later on became the 2nd Caliph of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. This was a grand prophecy which showed that God indeed was on the side of the promised Messiah, thereby proving not only his claim, but also the claim that this Messiah would indeed come furnished with signs, as was said and foretold by, you guessed it, the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. Therefore, these 3 days, of course they are in accordance with the teachings of Islam. Indeed, they are prophesied by no less than the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. A man makes a prophecy 1400 years ago, they come true. Are we not going to be celebrating and be joyous at that? On a side note, the concept of celebration, indeed many people raise this allegation because of the fact that they allege that this is an innovation to celebrate these days. But as we've mentioned, it is in complete accordance with the teachings of the Holy Quran and the prophecies of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of God be upon him. And we're not talking about celebration like we're setting off cartwheels and fireworks and dancing. This is a celebration of the signs of God, where we bring people together to remember God, to talk about the signs and the glory of God. And this is actually told as an injunction in the Holy Quran. It says in chapter 14, verse 6, that remind them of the days and the signs of God. Therefore, this is not contrary, rather it is completely in accordance with the teachings of Islam and something which absolutely everyone should be involved in, because of the fact that what else is there to be joyous about for a theist, God-believing community than to celebrate the glorious and wonderful proofs and signs of God.